Hey everyone, it's Alex here at Ninja Teacher Academy, and I'm here with Eddie, who is on the Ninja Teacher team and has been living in Vietnam for about a year now and has also been teaching English. So we thought we'd do a quick interview for you guys so you can learn more about what his life has been like here and share some of his experiences of what it's been like living here. So yeah, why don't you tell us a little bit about where you're from and what made you decide to come out to Vietnam?
Yeah, I was born and raised in New Jersey, in the USA, obviously, so about an hour south of New York City. And then I went to university in South Carolina. And yeah, about a year after university, I was just working a typical cubicle office job and commuting 1 hour there, 1 hour back. And I just couldn't let that be my life anymore, just kind of disillusioned with it, so.
And I remember you saying you really didn't like that job much, right?
No, I mean, it was just stereotypical, like, terrible cubicle office stuff. And yeah, I mean, there's definitely office jobs out there that are fine, but it just wasn't for me. So had been watching your videos for a while, and I was just like, all right, let's do it.
Cool.
So,
what did you study?
Political science.
Okay, nice. And you're doing recruitment stuff?
Yeah, I was a recruiter for like an IT staffing firm.
Nice. So what was it about Vietnam and teaching English that got you interested?
Yeah, I think just teaching English is just such a good way. It's like, I almost call it like a passport to the world. Like you can get your TEFL or your TESOL and then go anywhere to teach. So it's just something about, everybody likes to travel, but there's definitely something about living there and just getting, completely ingrained in the culture and stuff.
Yeah, because going on a 2-week vacation or something, you see all the tourist spots, is obviously cool to do, but if you live in a place, you get to know the culture, the people, experience all the different foods and stuff like that. It's really something cool, and if you're earning that salary from actually living there, and that's great, especially teaching English anywhere in the world that needs English as a second language, which is pretty much every country. But then there are countries like Vietnam that have high demand for teachers, right? So
yeah, definitely. And I think Vietnam is definitely one of the best places right now because it's lower teaching hours and much higher pay. I spend maybe like $850 a month on all my costs, and that's not like living like a hermit or anything. Like I'm going out and doing nice dinners and stuff. And yet, I'm making from teaching at least $1,600 to like $2,100 a month just from teaching. And then of course I have other things like Ninja Teachers. So I'm saving quite a bit of money. And there's definitely the opportunity to do that.
Yeah, it's kind of crazy when you think what you earn as an English teacher compared to what locals earn. And some people might say it's unfair, but then again, you are coming out to a new place and that's putting a lot on the line to come out here, so you do get compensated for it. So, and Vietnam, what has your experience been like living there?
Yeah, I mean, it's been awesome. It definitely takes a few months, I think, to adjust to it. Definitely was pretty culture shocked at first, but yeah, after a while, once you kind of get into that groove, like, it's just easy. Like, it's a nice life, have a girlfriend here now, so it's always a big thing.
So what were those first few months like when it was hard to adjust?
Yeah, I just think it's super hot. There's just tons of people around. I remember getting off the plane and just being like, oh wow, I'm in Asia. It was my first time being in Asia. I'd been all over Europe and stuff, but it's definitely a different animal, I think, to come out to Asia. And yeah, just, the traffic, the chaos, especially if you're in Ho Chi Minh City or Hanoi, just all the motorbikes everywhere and just people shouting and everything. But then, yeah, you just kind of get used to it and kind of just get a better grasp on the culture here, and they're just louder people.
Yeah, so that's definitely something to get used to, but I found that Vietnam does have a lot of modern aspects to it. I mean, you talked about that before, but how have you found the difference between that kind of Southeast Asia feel and also the modern factors of Ho Chi Minh City?
Oh yeah, I mean, it's great. It's really like East meets West here, I think. Maybe not to the same extent as Hong Kong or something, but you can definitely find, any Western cuisine here, and it's actually like really good, like actually really, really good pizza just down the street here. And yeah, it's cool because you can fully immerse yourself in the expat culture here, and then yet you could also fully immerse yourself into the Vietnamese culture. And it's good to do both. I definitely do both, where I'll go to a bar that's all expats, but then also, I'll have some Vietnamese friends take me to more of a local place as well. And yeah.
Yeah, and obviously having a local girlfriend and stuff,
Yeah.
you get to get insights into more of the aspects of Vietnamese life. And when you hang out with locals, what do you find that like?
Yeah, they're really just nice and generous people. I think a lot of them maybe even know that, we have a lot more money than them most of the time, but they're still very like, oh no, like I'll pay, like, everything like that. So they're really, for the most part, very, kind and just friendly people.
Earlier though, we were talking about that story that you mentioned. Maybe you want to tell that to show how things can be a little bit different culturally too.
Yeah, no, I mean, there's definitely pockets of this city that might be a little bit more hectic and weird. So actually, when I first arrived, I went to the party street, Wei Vian Street, and we were out, pretty late, and then all of a sudden, like this kid just comes out of nowhere with a pool noodle, and he just starts like attacking me. And I thought like, oh, okay, this kid just wants to play Star Wars or something. So like I start acting and kind of playing. And then like his face just kind of switched to like anger and just started hitting me like really hard. And I was still just laughing at the whole thing. And then his mother came out and she was like yelling at me to stop laughing at it, how I shouldn't encourage it. And then so she was yelling at me, so I just kind of ran away. But it was just a random thing. But you really only kind of get stuff like that on the party street, which, I mean, I'm not really there very often anymore, so.
Yeah, I mean, there's definitely aspects of the way you interact with Vietnamese people that you might find very different. And there's things like people cut in line and
yes,
people in the West might find that really rude, but here it's kind of common, and just little differences like that I found, which can take a while to get used to. But what are some of your favorite things about living in Ho Chi Minh City and Vietnam?
Yeah, I think just kind of like waking up and every day is like an adventure. Like you never know what you're gonna see. You might see 5 people on a motorbike or someone holding like some massive thing on the back, and just, it's almost like there's no rules here, or not. Maybe there are, but no one really follows them. And yeah, but it's a nice, like, cheap life. I can go down the street, on the corner there's a coffee lady who, I get a nice strong coffee for like 50 cents. And she always makes fun of me, like, because I order no sugar. And she's just like, haha, không dong, which means no sugar.
Yeah.
And everyone around kind of laughs, and yeah.
Yeah, because everything's so sweet and
Yeah.
it's so common to just have everything with lots of sugar in it. So if you ask for no sugar, it's kind of just like uncommon.
Oh, this weird foreigner, like.
Yeah. No sugar?
Yeah. And then everybody else around laughs, and yeah, it's pretty funny.
Nice. So you like the Vietnamese food too?
Yeah, definitely. Definitely.
And we did that trip recently to Tam Kỳ for the team trip, and that was really nice to get down to the beach. And have you done much other traveling since being here?
Yeah. No, I've been all around Vietnam. There's definitely still some places I want to hit, but also Thailand, Malaysia, Cambodia, going to South Korea, and Bali. So yeah, I mean, when you're saving this much money, it's super easy to just take a cheap flight to Bali or a cheap flight to Bangkok, and
right. Yeah, I mean, that's one of the awesome advantages of living here, is be able to get around very easily, and the flights between those places are really cheap. You're doing a good job of that. I know some people don't actually take advantage of it as much as they can when they're here, because maybe they're teaching for a year or two, and then they realize afterwards, oh, I should have just gone to all these places while I'm here, because flying from the US or wherever can be a lot more expensive. Right?
Yeah.
Yeah, nice. So how about the teaching? You mentioned you're teaching at an English center as well as working for Ninja Teacher. So how has that been, the transition into actually becoming a teacher?
Yeah, it's good. And, definitely the same thing. First few months of that is, you're still kind of figuring out how to be the best teacher you can be. But I think once you get into it, it just becomes, especially once you start to learn like your center's books and the way they want you to do things, it becomes, fairly easy. Of course, you always want to be putting your best effort forward, but yeah, it's been great.
Nice. Yeah. And you've been working at an English center, which is typically evenings and weekend hours, right? Yeah. So how many hours are you doing per week?
Yeah, I mean, it can vary because, these places are businesses. So sometimes they have, more customers. Sometimes they have less, customers, which are the students' parents, of course. Right. So, it can vary between, 15 and 25, but yeah, usually kind of closer to 20 to 25.
Right. And you have those pretty busy weekends.
Yeah.
It's funny because the rest of the team aren't really teaching. You're part-time working in Ninja Teacher and teaching, and whenever we're like, yeah, it's the weekend, you're going into that.
Yeah, super work mode.
How do you find that? And then obviously you have a bit more time off during the week. So.
Yeah, it's nice. All my all the other teachers are pretty much on the same schedule. So kind of like our Sunday night becomes like what would be Friday night. Yeah. And so a lot of people go out on Sunday night. So, it doesn't really become that big of a deal because most of your friends out here, if you're teaching, are going to be other teachers. So yeah, it's fine. It's definitely hard work, but having like the full days and the weekday is like really nice because then you have time for stuff like, Ninja Teacher, or if you want to pursue your own projects, there's plenty of time during the day, because even if you are working during the week, it's not till, 4:30, 5, or 6 o'clock.
Nice, yeah, so you can do some stuff during the day. And then what do you find the students to be like? Because obviously there's going to be a big difference between students back at home in the US and here. I know a lot of people do say they're a lot friendlier. I think they are in a lot of ways, but of course they're still kids. Depending on what age group you teach. So
yeah, I mean, I think they are overall more like respectful of a teacher here. You even have a whole holiday here, Teachers' Day. So I think there is that level of respect. But of course, there are always going to be kids. And there's always going to be, a classroom management aspect to pretty much all ages, even up to adults. You still have to manage the classroom a little bit. So, but usually, especially the younger kids, are super enthusiastic and like happy to see you, and it's just they're really cute. And like I had one time I was playing a team game, and I had them all write their team number on the desk with a marker. And the prize was stickers, so I was giving out the stickers to the team that won. And I saw this kid rub out his number and put the winning team number. And he goes, teacher, team two. And like, I just thought it was so cute, so I was just like, okay, here's a sticker. And then like out of the corner of my eye, like as I'm walking away, I just see him go like, yeah, it's just like this 6-year-old kid, but
nice.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think that the English centers can be quite tough on kids in some ways because they're going there after their regular school, so it is a lot of work. They have a lot of pressure on them to learn English on top of everything else. But in general, I think that most people find students here to be quite enthusiastic and friendly, which is nice. So if you had to give a couple of reasons why one would want to come to Vietnam, what would those be?
Yeah, I think that if you're looking for a change in your life, that this is like a great thing to do. Like if maybe you're in the same situation I was, just kind of disillusioned with like the job that you have and the life that you're living with, you know, I think it's just like a great, you know, it throws you out of your comfort zone. So you're going to gain all these wonderful experiences just from, you know, getting on a plane and saying, I'm going to teach English here. And I mean, it's such I think so many people don't realize like what a great opportunity it is for us, like, because we just happen to speak a language that other people, you know, want and need to speak. So by just being born in a certain country, we have this ability to go work, you know, make a decent salary in, you know, a country like Vietnam.
Yeah, and it's pretty amazing that you can just do a short course on how to teach English and then get a job at these high-paying schools right off the bat. Nice. So why don't you just quickly tell everyone about your role as Ninja teacher, because how long have you been working there?
Almost 7 months now.
Nice.
Yeah.
Okay, so yeah, Eddie's been a great part of the team, and maybe you could just share what you do and your experience of helping people start teaching English here.
Yeah, so, you know, firstly, I, you know, fulfill the role of a Ninja advisor, which is, you know, I'll be taking a lot of like the initial emails that you guys send, and then of course also conducting the Skype and phone interviews. And then of course I'm definitely here for, you know, any questions you have in pre-arrival and then during the course. But lately I've been taking up the role of alumni support manager, which means that, you know, I'll help you kind of ease into life after the courses that we have. So I can help connect you with apartment agents, help you out with motorbike lessons, motorbike license, and of course the rental as well. And then also Vietnamese lessons too. And then any general questions like after the course, even if it's 3 months after the course, like I'm your guy to come to.
Yeah, and then building up the school network too.
Yeah, so I have been building and maintaining our school network, one to you know, help get you jobs after the course, and then of course there's a few of them that you'll actually be teaching it. If you come to Ninja Teacher Academy, part of that is you'll get teaching practices, so we'll send you out to some of the schools in our network to conduct lessons.
Nice. Great. So any final words to someone sitting at home watching and considering coming out here? What would you say to them?
Yeah, I mean, I think you just gotta really think, you know, do you want to be on your deathbed and say, oh man, like I really thought about going and teaching English at one point, but I never did. And I'm gonna guarantee you that the answer is no. Like, just do it. Even if you are happy with your career path, you can take a sabbatical and do this for a year. And honestly, like, I think that makes you much more interesting on any, you know, future job interviews, like in your already chosen career path. Like, oh, I went to Vietnam for a year. That's awesome. That's a great conversation starter that people are gonna remember.
Yeah, absolutely. And I think a lot of people worry about that because they think that taking a year or two off is going to stop them from progressing. But I think these days there's such a big change in careers and so often amongst people that, you know, people are and employers are used to people having done different things.
Yeah.
And like you said, having that on your resume is definitely something that's interesting, and you can just do it for a year or two. You don't have to say, oh, I'm going to teach English and become an English teacher forever.
Yeah.
But if you do come out here and you enjoy it enough that you want to carry on doing it, there's also other career progressions from being an English teacher to international schools. You can go into the academic side of it. So it really is a cool thing to do, I think.
Passport to the world.
Passport to the world. Nice. Cool. Well, thanks for sharing, and I think we'll wrap up there. So if you guys enjoyed this video, make sure to give it a thumbs up and subscribe for more videos from us about teaching English and life in Vietnam. And we'll speak to you very soon.